Today's episode of the Box2Box podcast sees the return of the Box2Box podcast. The guys explain why they've been out for so long. We also look into the weekend just gone and the weekend coming up. Onto the podcast we go. Hello, and welcome to the first episode of the Box2Box podcast in 2022. We have to apologise. We've had a few health problems for myself. I've not been able to do the podcast at all. Today I'm joined by Reza. How's it going, mate? You alright?
Yeah, all good. It feels good to be back. Even Laura was like, I said, we're doing the pod tonight. She's like, oh, that's nice. It's been too long.
No, it has been too long. Yeah,
it's nice, and hopefully we can just get the ball rolling again and be more consistent and release it every week.
No, definitely. It feels good that I can actually sit at a desk for more than like an hour before I'm in absolute agony. So yeah, that's good. So let's roll into the football of the weekend. That's just gone. So the first game was on the Friday night, Southampton versus Norwich. How did you feel? How did you think the game went?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Norwich offered anything
at all.
No, obviously when Dean Smith took charge, there was a slight upturn in form, but that's since withered away.
Yeah,
they're going down.
Yeah, I'll be shocked if they don't. I mean, look at the table; they've played 26 now as well, so they've played the most out of all the bottom teams. And I'll be very, especially with a minus 40 goal difference. So it's a big ask.
Massively so. Yeah, like I say, they are gone. Watford probably 2. We could actually touch on who we think is going to take the third, because it's going to be interesting. It's going to be tight.
I honestly think Leeds are going to take it.
I think so too. Funnily enough, we were talking about this at work today, and I said Leeds.
Yeah,
they shipped too many goals.
Definitely. Well, I suppose it depends on who they bring in now. Bielsa. We'll touch on that in the Leeds game anyway. So Southampton game. Yeah. They're very dominant. Ward-Prowse was on sung. I thought he was unbelievable as well. To be fair, he seems to just pull the strings for them in most games that he plays in, which is ridiculous. And his delivery, fucking Jesus Christ, guy could put it on a 50p piece, laying down on the floor in the fucking box with delivery on it. It's I've not seen a delivery like that since Beck's. Fucking ridiculous, literally ridiculous. Every corner, every free kick he takes, I think, fuck me, Jesus Christ, is going straight on someone's head.
Yeah, he is good. Whether he could do that elsewhere, questionable.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, how old is he now? To be fair, I don't even know how old the guy is.
I'm not sure.
I think he's not a youngster, is he?
27.
27. That's
7 years old.
Jesus Christ, he's not exactly a youngster, is he anymore either? Yeah, he's prime.
No, he's prime. Yeah,
he's prime for a centre midfielder, isn't he? Really? Like this should be his best. So about 30, 31, and then he will start playing the sitting role. But no, he still played well for him and was a very good player for him.
Yeah, like you said, it was complete dominance. Norwich had nothing. Southampton were decent for considering the opposition.
Worrying time for Norwich, I'd say. Worrying time.
Mate, I think the time to worry was ages ago, to be honest. I think they're gone. They are they're long gone.
It looks like they're sort of preparing for next year already. When it seems quite crazy to think that it's February and they're preparing for life next year.
But then you think about it, we're in March tomorrow. There's only 3 months.
Yeah, I suppose.
Of the season.
And they've only got 12 games as well left of the season. And you think of those 12 games, realistically, how many points are you going to, of the 36 points that are available, how many are you really going to get? They're looking at needing to get like 20 odd points out of those. So, yeah, I don't think that's going to happen.
No, definitely not.
Alright, Sam, we move on to the first early kickoff. Leeds versus Spurs.
Yeah, yeah. Um, Meh. Spurs fans will claim this as some sort of mega victory.
Leeds.
Conte midweek was talking as if he was about to quit.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden, top of the world. Nah, listen, Leeds were. I don't want to say Leeds were poor because they had chances. They did have opportunities.
No, they did. Definitely did.
Spurs were clinical. So fair play to them for that. They took their chances well. Some good goals in there as well. To be fair to them,
Harry Kane
and to keep
decided
their
he
top
wanted to turn
four.
up.
Yeah, I mean that ball to Son, unbelievable.
Yeah.
Absolutely
No, it was a
unbelievable.
very, very good
So
goal.
it's their first goal. I think it was no, the second goal, that Kuleveski,
Kuleveski, yeah, from Juve.
his goal was very good as well.
Yeah.
So no, it was a good result for them, but it's nothing to really shout home about. Leeds are in terrible, terrible form. They're shipping goals left, right, and centre. It was to be expected.
Yeah, I mean, like we just touched on with the whole relegation side of things, I think Leeds, like yourself, but one thing I do think, if they can get a manager to stop them from leaking goals, they will get chances.
Well, it's been announced they've appointed that is it Jesse March. Um, so I don't know huge amounts about him, but what I do know is that he likes a pressing game,
Okay.
which doesn't which doesn't suit the battle that Leeds are in,
Yeah, no,
basically.
that's
So
that could be a problem.
yeah, but
To try and get
we'll
a
see.
team
We'll see
to
what happens.
to try and get a team to adapt to the pressing game when they're fighting relegation and they're not in the best form themselves. It's going to be
Yeah,
very, very difficult for them, I think.
yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. They are the out of form Prem team.
Yeah, I feel like the trouble they're going to have is I don't Everton I don't think will go down. They're too good to go down. Burnley, I genuinely still think they're too good to go down. They just had a lot of draws. They haven't had that many defeats. And
Yeah,
considering as they're sitting 18th in the league with a -8 goal difference, like that's not that bad.
yeah. I mean, yeah. It's probably between Leeds and Brentford,
That's what
realistically.
I genuinely was going to say the same.
Newcastle, Newcastle in decent form. I mean, looking at their form guide, they are one of only three Prem teams that are unbeaten in their last five.
Yeah.
Um, the other two being United and Liverpool.
Oh,
Um, yeah, I think they're in good form. So
no, they
I
are
don't
to
think
be
they'll go
fair.
down to
I
the league.
I, I, I can't see it. No, Southampton as well. To be fair, they're in. They're doing they haven't been beaten in the last five.
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah, I did miss that. Right there in the middle, yeah.
There's a little sneaky one in the middle
Sorry,
there. And then you've
sorry,
got,
Saints fans.
just underneath him, you've got the relegation form with Brighton. We'll talk about that later. Yeah, no, but like I said to you, I think if Leeds can stop leaking goals, then I think Brentford will probably
I
just
think
go
that's a
down.
big ask, if I'm
But it's a
honest.
very big ask,
Yeah,
very big ask.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, no, still some good goals from Spurs. I thought Harry Kane's goal was unbelievable, honestly. But I loved that. It was similar to Ronaldo's goal against them, like over the top, volleyed into the bottom corner.
yeah. It was really well taken. It's it's how you strike a volley from close distance. Um,
Yeah.
United gave a couple of good examples of how not to do it. Pogba and Fernandes. But we'll get on to that.
I think that pretty much covers the Leeds Tottenham game. To be fair, even on
Yep.
I don't think there's much else we can really say about that game.
No.
So the next game was the Brentford Newcastle game.
Yeah.
Newcastle taking it
Um,
2-0.
yeah. I mean, again, it was basically domination. Obviously, Brentford had the early sending off, and it
See,
was a sending off.
you think so? Because
I think
I've
so.
got
Do
a
you know what?
different view about this.
I can understand. I think I know what you're going to say, because ultimately all he's done is gone to shield the ball, and he's just
Yeah.
basically mistimed it. Anyone would do the same, right? It's a completely normal, natural movement. You step over the ball, put yourself between the ball and the opposition player. Completely understood. And the problem is he he hits him just above the ankle. His studs are therefore up. And in this day and age, even to be fair, even in the 90s and early 2000s, I still think you'd consider that a red card challenge. The general rule of thumb is if it's high and the studs are showing, then it's generally tends to be a red card.
No, I just feel like he's very, very harsh considering as you, you've got to put your. He doesn't do that. He gets bollocked from his manager for not putting his body in the way of the ball, because then they just Newcastle take the ball. He's not genuinely going to hurt somebody, and he's not doing it so he's out of control. He's still in
No,
control
absolutely.
of what he's doing. So like,
yeah,
to
I
me, it's very
completely
hard.
agree.
Like, I don't think it's reckless. I don't think he's doing it to hurt somebody. The Newcastle player just genuinely got there quicker than the Brentford player thought he was going to get there. And then obviously
Yeah,
that means he puts his leg down too late and hits him with his leg. So I don't believe, in my eyes, I don't think that's a red card.
that's fair. Like I say, I had a feeling that was where you come from, and when I
Yeah.
saw it, the first time I saw it, I was like, "There's no malice at all,"
Mm.
but at the same time, it was high. It was studs up. It wasn't reckless, and you're absolutely right. And there was minimal force, so it was highly unlikely to cause injury,
Yeah.
even. But at the same time, he didn't have to do what he did. Like, you have to kind of preempt these things and think if a player does get there, what's going to happen, and that's what happens. He could have taken a touch. He could have. The ball was there to be won by De Silva. I just feel like he tried to do something clever, and it's cost him massively. Like I say, I think a red card was in this day and age. I think it's fair, but I completely understand where you're coming from, and I think had it not been a red, it would have been like, okay, well, it could have been a red, but it's not.
I
It's
think it's more just
it's
a
an
fact of
orange.
when I watched it, when I watched the game back, I sort of saw it happen then and there, and I was like, what's happened? What's wrong? I saw everyone going mad in the picture. I was like, what's happened? I genuinely didn't.
I
I
know.
genuinely. I was like, what's happened? Nothing's happened.
Yeah, I know what you mean, and it's one of those that if you didn't have video replay,
That's not a
it was
red.
like,
That's a
yeah,
carry on.
but because as a still image, it doesn't look good at all, and the slow motion
Yeah,
doesn't look good
it's
either.
very hard when we start to do this to football though, because still images aren't going to do favors for a lot of pictures. Because you can get a freeze frame of one thing, and then literally like 30 milliseconds later is something completely different. If you look at the wrong freeze
Yeah,
frame, you're like, "Oh, guarantee red." You look at the other one, oh, it's not red.
yeah, no. Listen, absolutely. Like you look at it, and from certain angles, an elbow would look like he swung an elbow
Yeah,
versus actually the arms have gone up because he's jumped up. You're absolutely correct. It's just that I think because there was contact made, clear contact, in an area where it's generally accepted the contact is not acceptable. I think therefore and especially with VAR and everything, I think he should have just taken a touch. Like, why didn't he just nick the ball? Why didn't he just take a touch? He could have been even more clever. He could have megged him. He didn't. So it's like I say, I just think that it was a bit.
that's fair
But
enough. Difference of
otherwise,
opinions, mate. Everyone's difference of
yeah.
opinion.
But otherwise, yeah. I mean, after that, obviously,
Oh, it was
Newcastle
obviously dominant
dominated.
Newcastle. Dominant
Yeah,
Newcastle after that. Understandable, really, in a way. Um, yeah, I don't think there's much else you can really say after that. Both their goals were actually quite good as well, Newcastle. I know obviously
yeah,
it was
yeah,
10 men, but
yeah.
they were very good goals.
It was, and Joe Linton had a really good game again in
Yeah.
central midfield.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's looking quite good. He's
No,
looking a
he
bit
is.
more at home.
No, yeah, he
Yeah,
is. I think he's starting to find a proper role for him. Um, what's his name? The Eddie Howe, the manager.
Yeah,
I think he's starting to properly get him in, and I think that's good for him. To be fair, because he was signed for quite a lot of money, wasn't he? Like 30, 40 odd million, wasn't it?
40 million.
Yeah, it's quite a lot of money. So yeah, good to see him. Good to see him hitting some form.
Yeah.
Uh,
Also, special
Christian
mention.
Eriksen, I was gonna say the
Christian,
literally about the same
yeah,
thing, mate. Yeah, unbelievable that he came back. To be fair to him, that's
yeah,
really good.
yeah. It was mega. I mean, I still remember that day watching that game and
I
being like, "Ah, shit."
yeah,
Um, so it was good to see him back.
yeah, I think a lot of websites gave him man of the match as well for it.
Yeah, I mean, I've given him a special mention in my
Yeah,
team of the week. Listen, I understand the sentiment behind it, but he'd look at it and go, "Yeah, but I wasn't man of the match."
yeah,
Um,
of course he
right.
would. Yeah,
So it's it's nice, I get it, but it's just let's just be grateful that he's back on the pitch, and
that's the
it is
main
what it
thing
is. Like,
now. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. He's back in the pitch and he's healthy. That's the main two
yeah.
things. So that's good. Right, now that's been said, we'll move on to the next one. Palace v Burnley. How do you see this one?
I thought Palace started really well actually, and they looked a threat. The winger, his name escapes me. Elise
Elise.
looks good. Him and Zaha on either wing looks really. It's a threat, massive threat. Um, well done to Burnley for getting back into the game.
Yeah,
Obviously, it was an own goal, but they dug deep, and again, both teams had some shots. I don't want to say chances because I mean Burnley had one shot on target, but yeah, I think Palace will probably look back at that and go, they didn't make their early kind of dominance, their early threat count.
yeah.
But
I was like, I've got on my notes. I was like, they didn't do enough to win the game. What I said is ultimately
yeah,
what I believe.
you've got to carry it over. Well, at least longer than like 25 minutes.
Yeah,
It needs to
or
be.
when you are on top for 25 minutes, you need to get a two, 1 or 2 goals minimum.
Yeah,
And they didn't do that. Um,
yeah,
I think to be fair, Burnley deserve a little bit of luck. They haven't been having much luck all year in terms of getting. Whenever I've seen them play, they've never really received any luck at all. So I suppose didn't really get much luck, but getting a draw out of nothing when they've only had one shot on target and that shot didn't even go in.
yeah,
I suppose it's a little bit of luck for them.
yeah, yeah. I agree, but yeah, otherwise it was. I mean, it was an interesting game. I think it was not a terrible game of football for what it's worth, but yeah, I think a draw probably is a fair result. But like I say, I think Palace their early match. Sorry, that's the doorbell. Their early match performance was better than I think their one goal suggests. But
Yeah.
yeah, there's not much else to say about that game. I don't think.
No, I think we've covered that game. I suppose we have to move to the inevitable United versus Watford. Um, from a conversation we had last night, and then I decided when I watched the game back this morning. Obviously, I was working Saturday, so I didn't get a chance to watch it, even though it's 3 o'clock kickoff. I don't know what the fuck has happened. It's like we stopped conceding goals, but now we can't score them. And I don't. You can't. To me, you can't coach someone to put the ball in the back of the net. Like, there's a chance there. You got to take it. Bruno should have scored minimum 3 to 4. Ronaldo should have done exactly the same. Um, Alanga had a great chance from a lovely bit of skill that I saw from Pogba
Yeah.
backheeling it to him, and he probably should have finished that. But I'm gonna go easy on the youngster because he's a youngster. Um, I'm not. I'm expecting Bruno to go through and fucking goal and score, or at
Well,
least
yeah, mate. Listen,
square it to Ronaldo.
yeah, Ilanga was man of the match. Ilanga was the best player on the pitch. He was superb throughout. So yeah, so you let him off for that chance missed.
Yeah,
The problem was obviously unlucky. I think it's what like the 4th minute or something. Ronaldo hit the post. Obviously, bit
yeah,
unlucky there. Um, the offside again. It's slightly mistimed. It is offside. Ronaldo's been offside a lot recently, a hell of a lot.
I don't know what to put that down to.
And
I don't know whether the ball's not coming or whether it's him doing too early. I think it might be a bit of both because the
I think it's a
midfielders
bit
haven't
of
got a
both.
clue.
But that being said, we're creating more chances than we have done in a long time. And actually, Watford were exactly the kind of team that we couldn't break down before. This time, we're breaking teams down. We're just not putting the ball in the back of the net. And I'd rather that than not being able to break these teams down.
Yeah.
So for me, I see some progress. Listen, Fernandez was wasteful, massively wasteful. The one-on-one with Foster, the header as well, and then the volley.
Yeah.
It's just obviously Pogba also had an opportunity. I don't know what he was trying to do. It looked more like a cross when he should have just inside of his foot volley into the far corner. I'm not trivial. I'm trying not to trivialize it because it's a difficult technique, right? But a player
Yeah.
of his caliber,
Yeah,
hit
I
the
think that's
target,
the thing when
make
you
the
get players of that
keeper,
caliber.
make the keeper work.
Yeah.
Penalty was I've watched it back actually, and I don't think the Ronaldo one was, to be fair. I think that I can't remember the Watford player, but I think he got a bit of the ball. He
I
may have
don't
got a bit
know.
of the ball after Ronaldo, and I think that's where it's a bit of a grey area. I think it's difficult. The Sky Sports highlights didn't show the Elanga one, but
No, that's the
they did.
yes. I didn't see the Elanga one. I saw the Ronaldo one, and I thought that was a pen. I did think he got the ball. That was the angle that Sky Sports showed. It just looked like he didn't get the ball. So I was like, how is that not a foul? Even watching it back, I didn't know when Ronaldo was going to have the penalty came, and I was like, penalty? I was like, but we didn't miss a penalty, so it's not a pen. That's not a pen. And I feel like sometimes
Yeah,
if you look at that and if that happened to Manchester City or Liverpool, I think that's being awarded as a pen.
possibly. Obviously, we're not conspiracy theorists here at Box to Box, but
I
quite
am.
possibly.
This is an agenda.
But generally, listen, United played well. We can take something from that. On another day, that is Ronaldo's goal goes in on the 4th minute, and this is an absolute destruction of Watford.
Yeah, if we scored, I
So
think it was going to be 4-5,
yeah,
but we didn't
So
score. So
it's one of those things, and you just have to draw a line on it and draw a line under it and move on.
the only positive you can take, I suppose, is a clean sheet.
Yeah, we didn't look threatened at all.
Yeah, which is good.
I think Ranić said the last few minutes there were a couple of attacks from Watford at the end, but considering the attacking talent on the pitch in Sarr and Dennis in particular, we can take something from that. So, like I said, I'm frustrated, particularly with Fernandez because of his attitude as well on the pitch.
Yeah,
I think if you're going to wave your arms about at other players and point the finger at other players and moan at other players, well, you need to step up too. And
yeah,
you didn't in that game. You were massively wasteful. And Ronaldo the same. I said it in the group chat. I don't think anyone replied to it. I guess it's because it's hard. It's a hard subject to talk about, right? But we're definitely seeing the end of Ronaldo. Messi too, right? He's not doing well at PSG. Ronaldo's not doing. Ronaldo's scoring goals. He's a goal scorer. He will always score goals. You put the ball, you put it on a plate, and he will score. He will finish, but everything he offers nothing else, and it's becoming increasingly more apparent when Cavani's not around that he offers very little going forward for the team. And we're just quite lucky that Sancho's been playing very well, and Elanga's been an absolute revelation. We're very lucky because obviously it's then hidden the fact that we've lost Martial, obviously we've lost Mason Greenwood, arsehole, and we've lost Rashford.
I was trying to say the same thing. We lost Rashford. He's still playing for us, but we lost him. I don't know fucking where he is.
Yeah, bless
We've
him.
got his twin brother or something.
Those.
I don't know what fuck's happened. We've got his twin brother,
Yeah,
just evil twins, just come out of nowhere.
Bless him. There's something wrong there. It's probably just confidence, I think. Hopefully, he gets it back because I like him and I think he's a wonderful human being, and he's an example to all of the footballers, really.
I think for him, what I worry the most about is he's in danger of becoming another Jesse Lingard.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
In the
He's
fact of that, I like Jesse Lingard for me. I don't think he's good enough for United. Like at West Ham, he was very, very good for them, but I think that's his. That's where he should be. He shouldn't be at a top six club. Like with all due respect to
yeah,
West Ham aren't a top six club. They're probably like the next best. They're like Everton were. If you go back to like the 2000s, Everton weren't a top six. They were like on the cusp of it. Whereas
yeah.
we
I
want to
think
be winning leagues.
he works too. He doesn't work hard enough at the moment. Before he at least worked hard, so it did mask a lot of his inefficiencies. He's not working hard enough at the moment either. Um, like I say, there's something not quite right. Maybe we'll find out in time. Um, but like I say, on the positive, the team looks more together now than it has done in a long time. It seems like obviously the fallout from Mason Greenwood, Ranić coming in, all of these things going on at the club, Martial wanting out, Lingard not being happy, him wanting out. I think all of these things seem to be now behind us, at least temporarily in obviously terms of Greenwood. That the rest of the team are moving on and becoming more of a team. And obviously Sunday's massive, right? Obviously we'll get onto predictions. But Sunday's a huge, huge, huge game, and it'll be very, very interesting. But yeah, I don't think there's much else we can say about the United Watford game.
No, I think we just end up raffling on otherwise and saying the same stuff over
Yeah,
and over again.
yeah,
So we'll
exactly.
move on to the last 3 o'clock kickoff, which was Brighton versus Villa. um,
Yeah, so Laura got in the car like just said.
yeah,
Did
you
I tell
told
you?
me. Yeah, he did.
um,
First thing says to my dad, "Oh, did Brighton get on the weekend?" Ooh. Spicy didn't drop her off there and then just drives on the block, pulls back up at your house, going, "Oh, thanks a lot for coming, Laura. See you later."
no, great result for Villa. Really well played. Obviously, Brighton dominated the ball as would be expected, but Villa were just better. Brighton looked like they were completely toothless. Basically, the Brighton of last season and earlier this season, where a lot of I don't want to say necessarily pretty football because it's not always necessarily pretty, very sideways at times, but a lot of possession and no end product,
Can't
and
finish.
that was apparent.
They just can't finish.
No, I
They
mean
can't finish. Simple as
to
that.
be fair to Villa, you've got to give Villa credit. Villa, I mean, they restricted them to one shot on target. I mean, Brighton did have more shots, 12 in total, but Villa, yeah, restricted
No,
them.
it's just I watched the game back
They're in
and
poor form at the minute, Brighton.
yeah, I watched the
They've
game
lost
back
something.
and I thought fair play to Villa. They did play very well. And Cash's goal I thought was very good. And then to be
Yeah,
fair,
yeah, really good.
Watkins' goal was actually really good as well. Um, but having said that, Brighton still had their chances. Like I can't remember. I think it was Moda hit the bar in the first half.
Yeah.
Um, Welbeck missed a sitter at the back post in the second half, right at the very end, towards the end of the game. With a header that I live closer than where the ball went in the end
Hmm.
towards the goal. I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh, Brighton. I sort of saw the result first, and then I'm watching the game back. I go, so Brighton didn't. Oh no, you missed it. I just genuinely couldn't believe that he put it wide. Um, but yeah, no. So I just think Brighton need. I don't know why they don't do it, and I don't know what person at Brighton doesn't go. We need someone who can finish the ball. Do you reckon we should get someone who can finish the ball? And someone else is in the boardroom with a pen and a piece of paper, just going, "Nah, we don't need that, mate. Nah, definitely don't need that." But I think they'd be safe by now if they had someone who could finish the ball by far.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, but then we've been saying this. It was the same story last season and the season before that. Um, good goal scorers are very, very hard to come by, unfortunately. But no, I mean, Brighton aside, Villa did well. big result for them as well because they're hit and miss. I think Gerrard's been given a lot of credit, a little bit too much credit, if you ask me.
Yeah.
It's you look at the contrast with Frank Lampard. Now I understand that Everton's form is poor and it's worse than Villa's, but obviously we'll get onto the Everton game in a minute. But they weren't that bad
Oh,
against
they
City.
weren't, to be fair. No, they weren't.
But and I think that Villa, obviously, because it's Steven Gerrard, it's just afforded more leeway, and I just think it's a bit unfair. But massive result for them. They're safe, which is the most important thing I think for them. And then they'll just build on that. They've got obviously Laura, so they do have quite wealthy owners. They'll probably go again in the summer.
Yeah, Gerrard
And
might get him a few players, to be fair.
yeah, he would. He is a draw. I mean, absolutely, he is a draw. And next season is going to be really, really fascinating. I'm looking forward to next season. I'm nervous, but I'm looking forward to it as well. It's going to be a fascinating season to see what Newcastle do. You think like the likes of Leicester can't be as bad, surely. Villa, you think will go again, and it'll be interesting to see what happens with the likes of Spurs, Arsenal, obviously United, and West Ham. Even
I think Leicester will be getting a new manager. I think Rodgers is going to go.
Oh, he's got to go, but yeah, we'll get on to. Well, to be fair, they didn't play, so they've got Burnley tomorrow. But yeah, it's But no, I say yeah, good result for Villa. Brighton poor form at the moment, but both teams are safe. Both teams have got nothing to worry about.
Yeah, I think Brighton are very lucky. They've got 33 points, is what I'd say going into this part of the season. I think if they had 23, then I'd be very, very worried for them. But 33,
yeah,
you'd think within 12 games they're going to get 7 points in 12 games. You think
100%.
yes,
Yeah, they will do.
So that's 40 points. I think this year is going to be safe because Burnley are on 21. I don't see them getting past 40. Everton 22. I probably don't see them getting past 40. And same with Leeds 23. I don't see them getting past 40. So 40 points will be safe.
Yeah, I agree.
Right, let's move to the last kickoff then on the Saturday. Everton versus Man City. Man City nicking it 1-0 in the end with a very, very lucky goal.
Yep.
How do you see this one then?
I feel for Everton because I think they looked really good actually. Richarlison was causing the City defence some problems early on. Van der Beek and Decore in the middle looked really good. City, listen, it's a cliche, right? But that's the mark of champions. They didn't play particularly well.
Still got the result.
And they got the result. Yeah, obviously, fortuitously, the goal jokes, and then there should have been a penalty.
Oh, 100%. That's 100. This makes me livid. When I watched it back, I was absolutely livid at the fact that this is not a penalty. If this is Manchester United, that's a penalty, and Rodri's been sent off.
Yeah, it was a terrible decision.
Absolute
I
joke.
don't understand. This is where the accountability needs to come into the game, and I think that there wasn't a suggestion years ago that refs should come out and explain
their
why
decisions.
a certain decision was made.
Yeah,
that's one of those where you're like, explain it.
Explain to me,
because
please explain.
Yeah, what have you seen that makes that okay? Now, I did read somewhere there was something, I haven't looked into it too much, something about the sleeve or something. I don't know. It sounds like a load of shit to me. It's a fucking penalty. It's handball.
That's a penalty for any other team. If that's 4 months, that's at the other end. That's penalty.
Yeah.
If that's Michael Keane or it's Michael Keane, isn't it? Forget the right player. Or if that's someone that's Coleman or anyone like that, then that's penalty.
Yeah.
As it's Rodri, it's not a pen.
Yeah. But like I say, it's I feel for Everton because actually they did have a decent game. That's some really good individual performances in that game.
Yeah, they did.
Was also very good as
Pickford
well.
was unbelievable, I thought. To be fair to him, he played really well.
But yeah, City got the result. Okay, fine, but it was I can't say it was deserved.
No, but like you say, the first thing you said, marker champions, is a typical. The amount of times we did it under Fergie when we won when we shouldn't have
Yeah,
won, but it's what champions do, really. You win when you're not supposed to.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, I don't really want to talk much more about the game. That's
No,
pretty much done for their game. Um, Move on to the only other game then, the West Ham versus Wolves game yesterday. West Ham winning 1-0.
yeah,
Soucek scoring on his birthday. Um, yeah, I think West Ham did enough to be fair to win this game. I thought they played quite well. Um, Wolves didn't have too many chances going the other way. I think they had one big chance. I can't remember who it fell to in the second half, but they didn't take it. And I just thought same old Wolves really. Um,
yeah. I don't understand why Moutinho and Jimenez didn't start. Um, when you think that West Ham's biggest asset at the minute is the centre of that midfield with Rice and Soucek,
yeah,
and Neves is unbelievable. Don't get me wrong, but him and Moutinho together is fantastic. And I when I heard the team sheet, and there was a lot of surprise. I think Sky Sports was saying it was surprising as well. Um, yeah, I don't quite understand it, but well done, well played, West Ham. Their form's been a bit indifferent
yeah.
recently. Rice is some player. By all
Oh,
accounts,
fucking,
they're now saying 120 million.
I'd play it. I'd play
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
I genuinely would. I'd play it.
he gets
Worth
into
it.
any team in the Prem. He's fantastic. He's superb. And
He makes
Soucek's not bad himself either.
He'd genuinely make every team in the Premier League better as well. Any team that you got
Yeah,
into, like even City and Liverpool, he'd walk into their midfield.
but they're doing well, West Ham, and they, like I say, they had a patch, but they seem to be, I say, somewhat through it. We'll see. Obviously, you never know what
It
happens next
reminds
game.
me
On
of
every
a
game.
it reminds me of a typical David Moyes Everton team, where like the first part of the season they'd do quite well, then they'd have a little dip at Christmas, and then they normally finished well. And it's sort of like got a typical David Moyes type season about it.
Yeah, yeah, I get what you're saying. I think they are. They're obviously very happy. They're very together.
Yeah,
They are hard to beat. They've got a good defense, really good midfield. Um, the thing that's started to cost them slightly more recently is the goals.
yeah,
Antonio has stopped scoring. Um, I think that's where they will suffer slightly. But they're still up there, and I think now, regardless of where they end up finishing, because you don't know, I think from fourth to eighth is completely open.
yeah.
Completely open.
I hear you.
Any one of those five teams could could get fourth, and say West Ham are in amongst it. So yeah, they've done well, but obviously Wolves are still in amongst it. I just think that they will probably tail off. I think it'll be 1 in 4.
Yeah,
And to say you can't give West Ham more credit than that to say that they are one of the four.
no, definitely, I definitely can. Right, that covers this week's games then.
Yeah,
Do you want to do the goal of the week or team of the week first?
it's up to you, mate. Which one do you fancy?
I go goal of the week first.
Yeah,
I've got
yes.
three down, and then
I got
I've picked one of the three.
I got 5. I've picked one, but I got 5 on here.
I've got Matty Cashes for
Yeah,
Villa, Harry Kane's,
yeah,
and then Kulusevski's.
right.
And I've picked out the three Harry Kanes.
Okay,
What about yourself?
okay. So I've got Kulusevski, Kane, Son as well, mainly for the pass, but
Yeah.
also to be fair, his touch was excellent as well. His first touch was superb.
Yeah.
Cash, obviously, and then Romeo.
Yeah, no, I did think of his as well. I thought of his as well. I thought in that game, to be fair, that's like I think that was the third time that Southampton had a volley, and I was like, thank fuck they didn't hit the goalkeeper this time. They had two sitters in the game, hit both of them straight at the goalkeeper, and the third one finally actually went away from the goalkeeper. I was like, finally scored it.
But yeah, I've gone for Romeo, for me, but any one of those, yeah, some good goals this week.
Yeah, no, yeah. To be fair. Right then, team of the week.
Yep,
4-3-3. Did I went 4-3-3. What did you go for? 4-4-2 or something?
I've gone 4-2-3-1.
Oh, he loves a 4-2-3-1.
I do.
Right, goalkeeper.
Pickford.
I went Pickford / Ben Foster.
Yeah,
I couldn't pick between the two because Ben Foster, for some reason, seems to have an unbelievable game every time he plays us. He's like our new fucking Brad Friedel. That cunt had an unbelievable game every time he played United. Every fucking game he had an unbelievable game. Yeah, anyway, right, back four.
So all four, I've gone Cancelo, Cash, Mings, Varane.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I've gone Cash, Mings, Varane, and then Cresswell.
Okay.
For West Ham, yeah, I thought he had quite a good game, to be fair.
Yeah, I think I went. Yeah, Cancelo just because City did all right, and he was.
You love a bit of Cancelo,
Yeah.
mate. You love a bit of
Oh,
Cancelo. I know you
he's
do.
unreal.
I packed him in Ultimate Team, to be fair, Team of the Year.
Did you?
Yeah,
Oh,
nice. Right, so
Tan.
to be fair, mate, yeah. Before we go off, I'll tell you everything I've packed this year. It's been ridiculous. Midfield. Do you want to do your three? Oh no, your two. The two sitters that you have.
So I've gone for Joe Linton and Ward Prowse.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, I can see that. On my three, I've gone Ward Prowse, Joe Linton, and Soucek as my three in midfield. So you might as well. Do you want to do all your four? You might as well do if it's attacking four, innit? Pretty much.
Yeah. So I've got Richarlison,
Yeah.
Ilanga, and Elise,
Yeah.
and then Kane.
I've gone Son, Kane, Elanga.
Right. Yeah, like I said, I think Elise, he looked really good for Palace. Really, really good. Caused
I
lots of
understand
problems.
why.
And Richarlison, early game in particular, caused City a lot of issues. Caused that City defence a lot of issues. So I just thought it was.
I can fully understand why you got your players in.
Got a few mentions as well. Doucouré and Van der Beek for Everton. I thought they did really well.
Yeah.
Raya, the Brentford goalkeeper, there was a double save that he made, which was excellent.
He made a few good saves in the game.
Yeah. Eriksen, naturally.
Yeah.
And Rice as well. Rice had another blinding game.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I've got Declan Rice. I've also got Watkins for Aston Villa. Who else have I got here? Dan Burn for Newcastle. It's been a revelation since he's gone there. He's been unbelievable. And then also for Newcastle, Fraser, their left midfielder. He had quite a good game, to be fair to him. He got a goal and I believe he got an assist. So he had quite a good game. But yeah, that was my could have made it, but I chose differently. Right.
Yeah.
So should we go to the weekend coming up then? So we predict their results coming up.
Yes, we're going to start with tomorrow's game, Burnley-Leicester. Yeah, Leicester. We've got Leicester twice this week.
I'll put that. I haven't done that, but I'm happy to put that in. Burnley at home, yeah.
Yeah, Burnley home. Yeah. So shall I kick it off then?
Yeah, you kick it off, mate.
So I'm going to go Burnley 1-0 tomorrow night.
Burnley 1-0. Funny enough, now I was going to say Burnley are going to win that. I'm going to go 1-0 as well. I just think Leicester aren't that good at the moment. I think they're going to win that. Right, so we'll go to the first of the weekends, which is Leicester v Leeds.
2-0 Leicester.
2-0 Leicester.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to go 1-0. Their manager. I genuinely do. I think Leicester are playing bad, and I genuinely believe that they're normally when you get a new manager come in, especially when he's got a week to work with them, like he might make them very hard to beat. he might be able to in that week, and they might try a little bit harder because it's the first week with a new manager. So anyway, that's what I'm gonna go for.
Yeah.
Right, Villa Southampton
1-1.
1-0. I'm gonna go 2-1 Villa. Burnley Chelsea
2-0 Chelsea.
1-0 Burnley.
Really?
Yeah, you never know.
Put a bet on.
Wishful thinking, mate. Wishful thinking. Newcastle Brighton.
Yeah, I think it's going to be 2-1 Newcastle.
I'm thinking 2-1, but I think maybe 2-0. I don't think Brighton are going to score. Norwich Brentford.
Yeah, this is a big game for Brentford. I think 2-0 Brentford.
I've gone 1-0.
Okay.
That De Silva for Brentford is a big loss. He's one of their best players. Centre midfielder, and I think it's going to be very hard to fill his boots.
Tony's coming back though, isn't he? Or is he back already?
Not too sure, to be fair. That could be a 2-1 then. If Tony's back, I reckon 2-1. If he's not, I'm going to go 1-0.
Yeah, I mean, he came on, didn't he? He came on against Newcastle.
Oh, did he? Oh, I'm going to go 2-1 then. If that's the case, I reckon he'll score the winner. Wolves vs Palace.
1-0.
That's got that game has got draw written all over it. That's going to be in so many accumulators this weekend. Liverpool vs West Ham.
Again, it's like you just said about wishful thinking. I'm going to go 1-0 West Ham, mate.
I think Liverpool winning 3-0, 3-1 that game. Watford Arsenal.
3-0 Arsenal.
2-1 Watford. Well, Arsenal fucking hate playing Watford. They just hate playing Watford. I don't know what it is. Something about it. I just hate playing them. I know Troy Deeney's not there anymore, but he goes, we used to love playing Arsenal as Watford. Then we go to the biggie. The biggie. City vs United. Ooh.
2-1 City.
3-2 United.
Nice.
Hopeful and wishful thinking.
The way you laugh at yourself.
We haven't scored more than one goal in the last 4 weeks. Like, yeah, we'll score 3 against them. Definitely best team in the league. Best defensive record as well. Like, yeah, we get 3. Spurs Everton to finish off the weekend.
Oh, don't know what it's going to. Let's go 1-0.
1-0. I'm going Spurs 2-1. At home, I think they'll do them. If it was at Everton, I think Everton would have won 2-1. Right, there we go. I think that concludes this episode of the Box2Box podcast, doesn't it?
It does.
I think we've covered everything. Covered a lot of topics. Didn't get to cover the capital. Is it? I don't even know what they call it anyway. Carabao Cup.
Carabao Cup. Yeah.
I keep calling it the Capital Cup, Capital One Cup, whatever it is from fucking 2006. Who gives a fuck about that piece of shit anyway? Little Milkman's trophy. The only thing that would make me laugh was like 7 disallowed goals. VAR.
I read about it. I read about the game, and it sounds like I missed a good game.
At times you see someone celebrating, fucking VAR again. It's like, for fuck's sake, just let him play. You should just let him play it out. It'd have been fucking like 6-6. It'd have gone to penalties anyway. But anyway, so yeah, that does it for this week's episode of Box2Box Podcast. Thank you very much for listening. If you'd like to subscribe to any of our socials, please do. I'm sure we'll have them on the screen for you. We're also now on Spotify, so we'll have the link in the on our socials to go there, and on the YouTube video as well, like we always do. If you want to be in the Box2Box Podcast as we start to get our shit together, just give us a comment on any of our socials or comment on the video down below, and we'll get you on there. Thank you very much for listening, and we'll speak to you next time.
Yeah, cheers all. It's nice to be back.